Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Saturday the 8th of September. I'm using the Sorcerer's Tarot, which is a deck I really love. It's by the amazing Antonella Castelli, and it's a beautiful deck. So I'm going to choose 3 cards to see what the tarot wants you to know and what you'll be working with on this day. So we've got the beautiful Magician, the 6 of Cups, and the 7 of Swords. Okay. So, first of all, we've got 2 minor arcana cards there, and we've got a major arcana card. So, the first card is the Magician, and the Magician is, I love the way he's been depicted in this deck. He's this really handsome young man. He's wearing this blue cloak, and the blue cloak represents his intuition. So he's got this wand pointed up to the sky. That's how he receives divine information. He's an infinite conduit of that information, and he channels it to Earth by using these different objects. He lets spirit guide him in all areas of his life, in the financial area of life, in the emotional area of life, in the passionate and romantic and sexual part of life, in his decision-making process, in his legal kind of matters, in business, in ideas, in inspiration, in communication. He creates what he feels is right, and he's a magician in the fact that he makes magic. And it's the best card, and it's really, the tarot has a wisdom of its own. It's so beautiful that if you listen to your higher power and you apply that to the practical world, you will create something that's valuable and worthwhile, and listen to your feelings. So today, there's not going to be a problem with that. You're going to feel independent. You're going to feel like you can do what's right for you and move forward with your life. The next card, the 6 of Cups. We've got an older man here, like a magician, a sorcerer. This is the Sorcerer's Tarot. And he's teaching this poor young lad who looks really a little bit nervous and scared. He's almost looks like he's getting a scolding there. And here we've got the snail everywhere. We've got the symbol of the snail. And we've got this super cute little baby with 2 antennas coming out of this fog and appearing. And like coming out of this shell. And it's like a fantasy. It's something that's been dreamed up almost. So the 6 of Cups is about making slow progress in terms of your emotional state and manifesting that into the real physical kind of world. There may be some difficulties involved. You may feel shy. You may feel like there's certain things that I have to overcome. Maybe I need to learn something. I can't just snap my fingers and make something happen. So the problem that comes up for you on this day is that as soon you feel really confident in yourself, but as soon as you do, you get this emotion and this idea coming up that really blocks you, and that says, well, you know, that process takes a while. So for instance, I want to get the divorce settled now. I want to really, the guidance is telling me to get the divorce finalized, and I'm going to do that. So you fill in all the paperwork, you hand it in, but it's now in the hands of the courts, and it's taking a while, and there's nothing really you can do about it. So that's the sense of frustration. If there's something about wanting to start a new business or living your life purpose in a way, again, there'll be resistance. It'll be like, well, you have to register with Company House first, and what about your taxes? And do you have to open a business account? And you start to get sucked into the minutia of things. So emotionally, it will feel somewhat overwhelming. Your emotions are going to try and bog you down in a sense. So the thing that's extra in a way is the Suit of Cups. We've also got feelings here. So we're really looking at water, and we're sitting on the fence between the good side of water and the bad side of water. The good side of water is that it's spiritually connected, it's super, super creative, it's nurturing, it's caring, and it's also very intuitive and psychic. So we've got a lot of that here today. And I'm being drawn back to this man here. His cone on his head is blue. And it's almost like he thinks his feelings, or what he thinks become his feelings. And it looks like this snail is coming out of the tip of his cone and is being realized there. So what you think about, you manifest. And I don't know why he's scolding him, but it may be that he hasn't realized how to do that yet, and he's behind on his work. He's the magician when he's young, and maybe he isn't taking to it as quickly as he should. So if anyone tries to shame you, or if anyone tries to make you feel like you're not good enough, then stand up for yourself. Realize that, you here and you here, you're the same person. It's just your skill set that differs. And just because you haven't got the skill set just yet, doesn't mean that you have to let yourself be treated any differently. If I look at some of the interactions I had with teachers and things in the past, I just think, goodness, if I was an adult looking back at that situation, I would handle that very differently. And really give yourself a break in that sense. So don't let anyone put you down. Realize that you're doing things in your own time, and that's right, and that's good, and that's divinely ordained, and you're doing your best. So you feel good about yourself. Anyone comes in and tries to rob you of that or makes you feel bad, remember, you're on the path to becoming your own special, connected magician who has control over all aspects of life. And this is just an emotional kind of hurdle or potential swamp situation where you can get stuck. The final card is the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords is about really being selfish and really just thinking about you. And we've got Medusa here, and when you look at Medusa, you turn to stone. She is a monster from, I think it's Greek mythology. And yeah, whoever looked at Medusa was kind of turned into either stone pillar or a salt pillar. And I don't know the story very much, how she became Medusa or whatever. But it's really, usually it's to do with being self-interested and taking from others for personal gain. In this deck, it's really your thoughts and ideas, your worst thoughts and ideas taking over your mind. And literally Medusa had snakes growing out of her head. So your most negative and your worst thoughts surrounding you and taking over. I mean, she's very comfortable sitting there totally nude next to skulls. So she's not doing good. She's not out to do great works of humanity. She isn't. She thinks, how can I compete and beat you, and how can I win this argument, and how can I intellectually outsmart the other person, or how can I use this situation to gain something personally. So we've got a bad person there in the sense of a bad person. We all have mixed parts. We've all tried to manipulate situations to our own advantage. And then we've got another kind of not so great person, because he's kind of making this poor kid feel uncomfortable and awkward. And anyone who makes a kid feel like that is not good. And he's hiding a 1 behind his back. It seems very threatening. Like, if you don't get this, I'm gonna, crack your knuckles or whatever. It's not nice. And then we have the magician, who really looks independent, but he kind of looks haunted now. with these other two cards here, and he's creating his own thing, but he's still young and he's inexperienced, and emotionally he's still sometimes overcome by what has happened to him. So there's a lot of kind of sharp, difficult thinking energy floating around. So you may see yourself as you really are, or you may remember some sort of negative childhood memory. But what you need to realize really is that you are on the right track, you are making progress, you've overcome these situations where people try to put you down, and you've built up certain defense mechanisms to survive that. So if someone's putting you down, sometimes you've got to stand up for yourself, and then you become verbally assertive. If you take that too far, then you become very angry, and you can eviscerate people verbally, and that's taking it too far, and that's what Medusa has done. She's just gone a little bit too far with the negative stuff. We all have negative things happen in our lives. Not everyone, who's harmed you in your life, you go back and murder them. We don't all react like that. And just because someone has done something bad to you in your life, some of us, we don't sit there 5 years later and resent those people. It's just done. And we've got on with our lives, and we've resisted the urge to be consumed by our negative thinking. We've determined to grow into our real selves, and he looks somewhat sad, but he looks like a handsome, really self-assured young man who's doing things, and who, as he gets older, will become more and more confident. So don't let bitterness or bad thoughts tear you down. Don't let anyone try and put you in your place. Remember that you have your path that you're on. You're moving on it very slowly, and you don't need to explain yourself to anyone either. You're doing what you think is right, and it's up to you also to become the adult that you're meant to be now, and to become the good adult that you're meant to be instead of the bad adult. Because we've got two options here. I just want to finish on this. This young boy, he can grow up to be him, someone who earnestly tries to listen to spirit and tries to create good in the world. Or he can turn into her and he say, oh, I was really tortured as a child. I need to take that out on someone else myself, and I'm going to do it better than he ever did. And I'm just going to be cruel and mean and evil, and I'm going to get the world back for what happened to me. A great example that comes to mind here is Nelson Mandela. He was in prison 27 years. We were in South Africa at the time. When he came out of prison, he could have said, do you know what? It's wartime. Let's get revenge for apartheid and what's happened. And the country would have devolved into civil war. He came out of prison and he said, let's reconcile. Or he came out of there not with any anger or aggression. He came with light and love and forgiveness. And that's why the country really had this amazing people made fun of it, but they did, create this concept of a rainbow nation, of a diverse nation that's now coming together. And it was this hope of a rainbow nation and dream. And cynics were very quick to dismiss that. Oh, a rainbow nation, whatever, just look at the crime rate, That's what Medusa does. It's negative thinking, puts everything down. So there will be things happening to you that will affect your inner child. Go to the light. Don't go to the dark. You have power over how you react. And especially this situation, it's either going to help you to build something more in your life or make you more embittered and, reactionary and just lacking insight. Anyone who attacks other people is really lacking insight. Except Medusa, who's really done a self-inventory and said, wow, I really am a nasty piece of work on the inside. I'm really a bad person. I'm going to embrace that. And that's why the snakes grew out of her head. Because she was like, I am bad and I am owning that stuff. So you're not Medusa, so don't worry about it. 1 and 6 is 7. And we have another 7. So 7 is lucky. 77 is luck to me. It's creativeness, it's your mind being malleable and flexible and you being able to do what you want with it. So use your mind for creativity and use your imagination for good. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, and 5 is freedom. So you can get freedom from things that have hurt you in the past by building something in the here and now. And you can also overcome faulty beliefs and let go of things where you've reacted badly or where you've said something that was over the top or mean-spirited. We've all done it. Everyone's done it. And there may be an opportunity for you to resolve and apologize for one of those things and be the embarrassed child that says, do you know what? I'm sorry I called you a name and I really apologize. I'm sorry. Forgive me, please. And that's what will then make you that person. So you have the freedom to choose really whatever you want to do today. It's a great day for you to actualize and to bring out a certain part of you and to really play around with your personality a bit and to experiment who you are and to get a better insight into who you are and what you're all about and where you want to go and what it is you want to create. I hope that's given you some idea of what you'll be working with on Saturday the 8th here. If you'd like a private reading with me, please get in touch via the website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. Please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button immediately, please. And I'll speak to you tomorrow.